Right, boom. Here is the Stacks reaction to all of the new buffs and nerfs and dumb bullshit that they have done this season. I cannot wait to cry when I see the Doomfist nerf, because yes, I know it exists, and I'm sure all of you know too. All three of you anyway, fuck it. Okay, roster is built with competitive play in mind, allowing players to communicate their preferred heroes effortlessly, but it's also useful to quick play players that want to pick the best map for their allies. Negative votes for preferred heroes prevent most cases where one teammate could successfully vote to ban your preferred hero alone, which is based, assuming you also vote to ban at least 2 other heroes, which forces engagement on the ban side of things. It's actually a really, really good change. If 2 players in your team want to ban your preferred hero, they'll still be able to outvote you, which, yeah, granted, oh well. Get fucked by Stacks if you're a Mercy player, I guess, or if you're a Doom player, so like you, and it happens. Lobby bans are designed to ensure that hero bans are more responsive to player preferences, banning heroes that both teams try not to play against, which in turn leans in my understanding that they just use an aggregate of votes across both teams. The roster, described in more detail in core game updates below, gives players the ability to share their favorite heroes with their teams to enable better coordination. A player's preferred hero, the number 1 hero in the roster by default, now contributes 3 negative votes during hero bans, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, so that's just all. I'll just leave that here for anyone who wants to read it a little closer, but top 500 Challenger live replays. We gotta hit that shit this season. We gotta get the ANDEYSAYMALE live. Yes, sir. All players can now watch live replays of ongoing matches for players on the top 500 Challenger leaderboards, streamed to viewers with a delay to prevent the feature from being used for a competitive advantage by other players, because there are totally demons in top 100 that would do that shit. Cheater compensation. Oh, I'm gonna assume it's a typo. Rank progress compensation awarded to higher ranked players either now or no. Gotta be now. Now scales down by respecting the pressure modifier, so I guess fucking, I don't know, all the high ranked players were crying about their rank not being exclusive anymore. Not much you can do. Hero updates, okay. Bunch of perk tunes here. First off, this is a pretty substantial Diva nerf. Shield conversion reduced from 150 to 100. This means that you can't really eat as much and, you know, hold the front line as much just by getting absolutely drilled. Next, we have Domina. Okay. Movable barrier ray. I mean, we're just kind of bootleg. Power move is gone. No, bro. Remove the fucking slow crystal. Who gives a fuck about slow crystal? What? Where the fuck are my primary sped buffs, Blizzard? Where are they? Where are they? Where are my primary sped buffs? Where are they? Why are they not in this patch? Why are we nerfing Doomfist? Do you have any idea the kind of shit we do just to hit GM5? Damn. I'm tripping. In practice, this means you're going to have to time Power Matrix a little better to eat shit. Like, for those last 0.2 seconds where it's like the visual on the enemy's side isn't quite clear as to whether or not you have Power Matrix, like those like last second sleep eats or something for the Ana that tries to wait it out. Yeah. It sucks, but as far as Doomfist lethality goes, this is not a change that actually negatively affects him. It just means you have to play with your block a little smarter. Okay, this is the big one. I actually made it to Grandmaster this season screwing around on Hazard. I guess I was about like 8 seasons too late. I suppose should have started this shit in season 14. But let's just give it a read here. Hazard has become a strong pick across multiple scenarios due to his survivability, mobility, and lethality. Reducing Spike Guard's duration lowers his ability to sustain during engagements, while adjustments to his perk distribution will reinforce a trade-off between mobility and lethality within his major perks. Now, first off, this Zeal buff, fuck you, Coldest, if you're watching this. I'm telling you, this perk is good, but they just needed to buff it. Second off, Reconstitution has been shifted from a major to a minor perk, which unfortunately means you can no longer run Zeal Reconstitution and live on lower support comps as easily. The resource cap has also been gutted from 50 to 25. So those of you that were picking Reconstitution in Season 14 and onward, when they were getting used to like the block slot meta build, yeah, that's pretty much gone. As it stands right now, Reconstitution as a perk, I don't really know if it would be viable or not. I think these minor shifts that they've done to Hazard are actually going to make some serious waves in competitive play. I'm actually a little interested to see how it winds out. That said, Deep Leap is now a major, and it's also been buffed too, technically. Range has been increased from 15 to 20% despite being moved from minor to major. What this means in practice is that you can no longer do Deep Leap and Explosive Impalements and just like insta-delete someone, and also with Explosive Impalements getting removed... Not removed, getting nerfed a little bit here too. Hazard players might be in trouble this season. I might be fucked this season, to be honest. But depending on how these Zeal changes combo with Deep Leap and how these Deep Leap changes feel, Hazard might actually be a bit more of a backline snipe hero now. It really depends. It really depends on how well you can play cover within those 5 seconds where it's down. Oh, I didn't see that. That might be bad. That might be really bad. So, I guess Reconstitution is actually a more viable perk now. We're going to have to see if this makes Hazard bootleg or not, but... Rain buff. Okay. Relentless Form, minor duration bonus increased from 1 to 2 seconds, halved effectiveness during Annihilation. That is a solid change because Relentless Form was genuinely a dead perk that nobody picked. Now, Nanite Repair getting buffed here is really interesting because playing on how, or depending on how this is done, yeah, Ramatra might actually be back in the meta. Gut Hazard even more. I don't know, bro. Like, for a Hazard player, this right here, the Spike Guard nerf, this is big substantial. Moving on from that, holy fucking shit. Holy Derpy is pogging right now. Chipper is pogging right now. All my Ryan main friends are pogging right now. Reinhardt can struggle against the high mobility of the hero roster. Increasing Fire Strike's projectile speed increases its consistency at range and better rewards accurate use. This also crosses double Fire Strike breakpoints against 250 health targets. So people that are 250 and above, well, 250 and below, are now very much so not safe from Fire Strike. This actually is a really good change that I think reinforces highly skilled Reinhardt play. Hazard is Satan himself. You deserve it. I guess no you play support, Mendy Straw. I guess no you play support. Okay, next up. Zarya has fallen below intended performance following recent reductions to her primary fire and perks. Reducing energy degeneration increases her ability to retain energy more consistently and increasing uptime while retaining her lower maximum damage output. These people really got, like, this is 2 spelling mistakes already, Blizzard. Lock in. So, in practice, what's happened here is the energy degeneration rate has been reduced from 2.5 to 2.0 energy per second, which means to go from 100 to 0, you would have to wait about 50 seconds in total. Wait, you're a GM Tracer one trick? Nah, cap, bro. Get in the stack. Prove it. Okay, next up. Though you Tracer and Genji one tricks are probably not in trouble because this hero is a meme, but on-run buffs. These changes enhance the fluidity of On-Run's abilities, allowing for smoother ability flow without significantly increasing her overall power. In practice, what has happened is that Inferno Rush now has reduced recovery after the ability from 0.3 to 0.1 seconds, which... Reduced recovery after the ability... What? Oh, like the recovery frames. Okay, so On-Run is no longer locked nearly as hard when she goes... On-Run is no longer locked nearly as hard when she goes out of Rush or in Blaze. That, like, brief stagger frame where you just don't really move on-Run, pretty much gone. It's still present on Blaze, because that's kind of supposed to be her intended counterplay. So for players like me, it's probably not going to make too much of a difference, but, you know, boo womp. Okay, some Ashe perk adjustments. Double-barreled minor perk, knockback reduction of second shot removed. I think that's... Is there a double coach perk? I don't know what these fucking perks look like. Oh, the ammo gain on headshot has been removed from Ashe. That was a big fucking deal. And her Airburst Dynamite Major, now she gets more ammo, which means Ashe players aren't going to be reloading all fucking game if they take that perk. But I'm pretty sure they want to take Viper anyways, so... I don't know. This might actually be an interesting change. Next up, y'all been waiting for this. Oh, man. Bastion Armored Artillery Miner is now gone. So now canceling Bastion actually is a valuable move. Hooray. This is awesome. That said, replacing it is Smart Bomb, which means that A36's tactical grenade self-knockback is increased by 25% and also no longer damages you, which kind of reinforces a flank Bastion playstyle, though if I'm not mistaken, his other miner is the reduction, so... I don't know. I think both of Bastion's miners might actually be kind of ass right now. Ooh. Okay, so, for Cass, even the odds minor healing increased from 30 to 40 healing per second. For Silver Bullet, bleed total damage has been reduced over time from 70 to 50, with the duration reduced from 2.5 to 1.5. Now, the bleed total being reduced is not an insignificant nerf. I'm barely even going to talk about even the odds, because like this perk is a fucking joke. Take double flashbang. But duration being reduced from 2.5 to 1.5 seconds is actually pretty significant for mobile tanks like my Doom, because it means that your DPS passive isn't being applied for nearly as long, and it also means that, well, you know, actually that's about it, really. Less DPS passive in my mind is good, especially if you can break cover against the cast, just because of how oppressive it is now that everyone has it. Now! Oh, thank fucking God! Echo has gotten her partial scan minor nerfed. For those of you who play people with like really impactful ultimates and you get duped against an Echo and then you just get murdered by your ult being built in 2 seconds, this should hopefully target that. And as for full salvo, number of... Oh, right, that's the sticky perk. Number of additional projectiles reduced from 3 to 2. That is not an insignificant deal. That is actually really, really, really good. Next up. Yeah. This is probably the only enemy nerf I would make. Override Protocol, alt cost increased 10%. It's good to have him back. Genji now has better deflect again, as well as 35 to 50 healing... from 35 to 50 healing per second with his meditation major. I don't know what his other major is, but I think you actually did generally want to take meditation out of the 2. So this should just be a flat Genji buff, provided you take meditation. Junkrat, Bon Voyage minor, attack speed bonus increased from 25 to 35%. This is low-key a meme change, but Junkrat players are probably going to find it funny. Oh. That's... Oh no. May's primary fire has increased in range to improve its effectiveness when closing distance on enemies. Deep freeze is rarely effective as low health targets are often eliminated before being frozen. Very true. Increasing its freeze rate against non-tank heroes makes it more usable without increasing effectiveness against tanks. I unironically feel like this change alone is going to spike Mei bans. We're not quite in Overwatch 1 yet, but I don't know. I don't think anyone ever liked playing against a hard lock freeze. So yeah, Deep Freeze, major perk, freeze rate increased by 30% against non-tank heroes, dub, and then Endothermic Blaster, range increased from 10 to 12 meters, also dub. Ooh. Now this is good. Dire Triggers has increased Reaper's strengths across many matchups and added significantly, they didn't say significantly there, but trust me, it was significant, significantly more lethality to his kit. Combined with his survivability, this pushes him past intended durability and kill potential. Very true. Reducing his health lowers the survivability while preserving the lethality Dire Triggers provides. So for those of you who play Reaper, your damage is more or less safe. But the jump in, Dire Triggers, insta-kill someone, and then fuck off playstyle is now a little bit harder to do because you're at a 275 instead of 300, and your movement speed bonus from the Lingering Wraith perk, as in like going out of Fade and then speeding, is now about 10% lower as well. So that's actually a pretty big deal. I would have liked to see lifesteal adjustments, but, I mean, I'm not a dev. I don't know how that fucking shit works in DPS. I just play Doomfist, bruh. This is it right here, by the way. This is it right here. Okay, Sierra's projectile size is large relative to fire rate, which makes her weapon too consistent. Reducing projectile size lowers this consistency, while improvements to Anchor Drone's responsiveness increase her mobility. So, Tight Grip minor perk was kind of inconsequential as far as those go. But the locked-in major perk here of now only providing increased attack speed when tracking shot hits an enemy hero is a big fucking deal. There was a... I don't know, for those of you who play tank, you might have seen it. Every now and then Sierra mains would just either whiff their tracking shot or intentionally miss it and then just drill you in the forehead with her increased speed. Fun fact about that perk, when done that way, if you hit all headshots, you did 460 damage per second. Yeah, it was bad. It was really fucking bad, especially if you didn't have a way to invuln it. And if my favorite thing on Doom was I would eat it with Power Matrix, then she would blow into my block, and I'd be fucking off with Empowered the whole time, and I would come out with like 200 HP. It was brutal. That said, this base projectile size being reduced from 0.175 to 0.15 is not an insignificant nerf, though truthfully, I mean, on the auto aim hero, what difference does it really make? And then after that, we have the Anchor Drone buffs here. Drone deploy speed increased from 30 to 40 meters per second, means it's faster to actually get out. Drone deploy range increased from 40 to 60, which means you can go longer from it, or you can throw it longer. And then drone grapple range increased from 17 to 19 meters, just means you can grab it from further. So all in all, drone is faster, more responsive, and a little more useful at range. So you're going to want to be shooting that shit a lot. Now, this major... I have to see what my boy Crab thinks about this, but this is probably going to help a lot with Sojourn rail uptime, though I don't really know if it's going to see a lot of use inside of higher ranks. I don't think people are sliding into rail shots too often, but I don't know shit about Sojourn, so, you know, feel free to tell me my opinion is stupid. Now, Tracer, Red Bendy Straw, this one's for you, bro. Kinetic Reload minor perk, ammo gain reduced from 20 to 12, so you no longer get half your clip back off of just quick meleeing someone. You still get some ammo for it, but as far as I can tell, this may actually be a somewhat significant tracer nerf. Well, well, well. I was wondering if this is going to happen. Let's see. Previous reductions to overhead swing range and onslaught movement speed reduced Vendette's ability to secure eliminations. For those of you who play her, you know how drastic this was. Increasing Onslaught's movement speed and duration improved its effectiveness as a mid-fight tool to stay within striking distance, and her ultimate cost has also been reduced to better align with her current damage output. So this 15% ult cost reduction pretty much makes Sundering Blade a tempo ult, and the Onslaught buffs here, she keeps them for longer, and she also moves faster the more of them she builds, even with just one. That's a pretty big deal. That's actually a pretty massive deal, all told. So they're not going to bring back her overhead swing range, unfortunately, because it was kind of bullshit, but yeah, that's about it. Auto nerf for no fucking reason. Speed serum minor, movement speed bonus reduced from 40 to 30%. This is inconsequential and honestly kind of an unnecessary change. I don't really know why I did this. I think, if anything, Ana needs some form of help with mobility instead of a gut, especially when it's tied to just her fucking ult. Like, but whatever. Okay, Whiplash major perk, damage increased from 50 to 60. I believe this is the punch into walls one. That may actually shift some breakpoints pretty significantly. I don't know if that puts tracers into one-shot potential with that, but I don't play a lot of break. I wouldn't really know. Rapid construction minor, cooldown reduction increase from 1.5 to 2. My boy who plays Olari says that this is pretty much useless, so yeah. Here's the big one. While Jetpack Cat's win and play rates remain low, Lifeline is highly effective at higher ranks when continuously carrying certain heroes. Increasing the fuel regeneration penalty while carrying a target and reducing the strength of transport shielding weakens this strategy. Weapon improvements increase effectiveness outside of Lifeline. So the general ethos on this, from what I can understand, is that they want to make Cat more of a flanker and a harasser instead of just an AC 130. I'm cool with that. Transport shielding minor, duration reduced from 5 to 3 seconds, maximum shields reduced from 75 to 50. Headbutt major, speed thresholds to activate lowered from 16.5 to 14 meters per second, no longer refunds fuel, and damage increased from 30 to 50. So, I mean, most of this is perk changes, aside from Frenetic Flight here. Fuel regeneration penalty while carrying a target increased from 2x to 3x slower, and then biotic projectiles, damage and healing increased from 4.5 for pellet. Not bad. And now, Juno got a rate of fire buff on Faster Blaster, which actually might make the DPS Juno playstyle a little, like not much, but like a little more viable. Improvements to Lifeweaver's healing have increased its ultimate charge rate. Increasing the ultimate cost adjusts for this while also reverting a previous change to Tree of Life's overhealth conversion that made the ultimate too strong sustained healing. Now, this is big. I mean, if you're ever going to see a Lifeweaver, just fucking run at him. There's not much they can do. But ultimate cost being increased by 9% means Tree of Life is now a bit more of a, like, it's a harder ult to build, and it means that Lifeweavers are going to want to use it more conservatively as opposed to flinging it out like they used to previously. Now, overhealth conversion means that people are not going to be living inside of Tree nearly as easily because that extra health that you have to chunk through to get to their real HP is now no longer a significant factor. Though I'm honestly going to be interested to see how this changes. Oh, Blizzard. Well, there goes me playing Mercy this season. Yeah, low-key, Bundy, like, Doom nerf, Tracer nerf, it was worth it. There's a little bit of power creep in this game at the moment. Okay, Mercy. Flash heal has increased Mercy's overall healing output, so her ultimate cost has been increased to account for this. Damage boost is reduced to offset her increased value, with that power shifted into chain boost to improve its viability. Okay, so if you want your base damage boost back, you have to pick chain boost, but in turn means that you're boosting two people for the same amount. This does not make chain boost a viable perk in my mind. Caduceus staff obviously is down from 30 to 25. This is... I'm gonna let the Overwatch math nerds figure this one out, but like truthfully speaking, this could be a massive change for a lot of breakpoints because they have almost never, ever, ever touched this number. Without getting increased 7% is, I mean, not a big deal. It just brings it more in the line. Wait, Mizuki buff. Katashiro return is limited by its short duration and longer cooldown. Reducing the cooldown and increasing duration improves its availability and flexibility as a mobility tool. So, Katashiro return, if I'm saying that right, let me know. Those people. Chill on the Mercy mains, bro. We're all one tricks. Cooldown reduced from 12 to 11 seconds means that Katashiro is now a faster cooldown to throw out. Duration increased from 4.5 to 5.5 means that Mizuki's are going to be significantly harder to nail down while they're in shift. And it also means that he's going to have a lot more lethality and fishing because he's going to be able to go a lot further and look for a sneak hook in the front line. What in the sweet fuck is this? Biotic Orb's output is limited by the mobility and durability of the hero roster. Increasing its damage and healing increases its impact while rewarding efficient placement. As for Biotic Orb, damage per second has been increased from 50 to 60 damage per second, healing per second has been increased from 65 to 75, and maximum damage per orb has been increased from 200 to 250. So I'm pretty sure I can unironically farm block off of Orb now, which is hilarious. But aside from that, these are good number buffs for Moira. She was kind of falling behind with DPS passes being everywhere, so I'd like to see how exactly this changes her. Ebb and Flow, I mean, this is a good sustained perk for Wu Yang, but it's no big deal. Next, core game updates. Players can now choose their top 3 preferred heroes in each role to be displayed in their team during all pregame phases, blah blah blah. Players can change which heroes appear on the roster from the main menu while they're in queue and during pregame phases, not saved in pregame. Players can opt into only displaying 2 1 or 0 heroes, but by default, the 3 displayed heroes will be the same heroes used in the player cards. So these are like the 3 little hero icons usually underneath your name. Okay. Players can see their group members' roster of heroes by opening the social context menu after the social options of the stream view career profile. The maps on ours must most likely be maps he played in the last 5 matches, which means they're probably going to try and aggregate a bunch of players that have had similar maps played into there. Which actually in turn means you might see people in your ranked games more like certain people in your ranked games more consistently. But we'll have to see. Streamer mode, many new fake names. I'm not reading this. If you guys want to watch Stadium content, I highly advise you check another channel out because I am ass at Stadium and I have no intentions to improve. That said, these are ANDEYSAYMALE's takes on the patch notes. Feel free to check me out on stream. I'm live usually midday every day because the unemployment crisis in Guelph is wild. I will talk to y'all later. Take care.